You cannot use your Nexus Letter to increase your VA rating. Yeah, I say it, and I say it again for the folks in the back. A Nexus Letter is not going to bump up your percentage. And if somebody's trying to convince you otherwise, they're just lying to you, or they're trying to rob you straight up. And I know that sounds harsh, but let's call it what it is. There are a lot of people out there dressed up as helpers, waving flags, talking about how they fight for vets, and then they'll slide into your DMs and hit you up with a $1,500, $2,000 Nexus package to get your rating up. No, that's like trying to fix your car's flat tire by repainting the hood of the car, right? It looks like progress, but it does absolutely nothing for you. So if you've ever been told, oh, you want an increase, just get another Nexus Letter, take a breath, pause, and maybe clutch that wallet a little tighter. All right, so let's be clear for a second here. The word Nexus, it gets tossed around more than a football on Sunday, right? Every time you hop on a veteran Facebook group, TikTok, Reddit, whatever, somebody's talking about a Nexus Letter. Man, you need a Nexus Letter. Hey, my cousin got a Nexus Letter. This one dude online said it guarantees a rating increase. And I'm sitting over here like, what are you all even talking about right now? Let's be clear. Once and for all, a Nexus Letter exists for one reason and one reason only, to prove service connection. Think of it like this. It's like the bridge between your diagnosis today and your military service back then. Or sometimes it's the bridge connecting one condition you already are service connected for to another condition you're trying to connect secondarily. That's it. That's all it does. So, if you're already service connected, congratulations. The bridge has already been built. You don't need to go back and rebuild it, with gold-plated bricks or something. You don't need to hire somebody to tell the VA what they already agreed to. That's like paying a contractor to build a bridge across a river that's already been crossed, and then standing there wondering why you're broke and still stuck in traffic. I mean, if you're trying to increase your rating, you don't need to build another bridge. You need better evidence of how bad the traffic on that bridge is. And that's where the DBQ, or the Disability Benefits Questionnaire, comes in. But we'll get to that in a second. So let's play this out. What actually happens if you ignore this, right? Well, you go out, you pay somebody $1,000, $2,000, maybe more for a brand new shiny Nexus Letter because you think it's going to increase your ratings. You're feeling good. You're like, this is it. This is the one. You hit submit on that claim, and then 3 months later, the VA hits you with that beautiful soul-crushing denial. You're sitting there and staring at the letter like, what? What the hell did I just pay for? Exactly. You just donated your money to someone who cashed in on your confusion. You didn't move forward. You just spun your tires in the mud. And listen, I'm not trying to beat anybody up here. We've all done it. We've all thrown money at something that promised a shortcut. But when it comes to your VA rating, there really are no shortcuts. And if you get this wrong, it's not just about losing a few bucks. It's about staying underrated for potentially years. That's years of missing out on compensation you've earned, years of struggling to pay for the things that you need, that your benefits should be covering, actually. And maybe worse, that feeling of just being overlooked. Like the system just doesn't believe you and believe how bad things really are. But if you do listen right now, if you can redirect that energy into the right evidence, the right documents, the right process, that's when things can change. That's when you stop hoping the VA gets it right and start handing them evidence that they just can't ignore. And that, my friend, could be the difference between staying stuck at 30% for the next 5 years or finally getting the rating you deserve. Man, I've seen this play out so many times, and it's honestly painful at this point. A veteran will come to us frustrated, and I mean frustrated. They're sitting at 30%, maybe 50%. They're in more pain now than when they first got their rating, right? And they're like, hey, doc, I don't get it. My back is worse. My knees are completely shot. I can barely tie my own shoes. Why won't the VA increase my rating? And then I look through their file, and what do I see? They just dropped another $1,000 on, guess what? Another Nexus Letter. Because somebody online told them it would boost their claim. And I'm like, hey, who told you that? That's like, again, trying to fix a broken leg by putting a Band-Aid on your forehead. It's not even the right part of the body. They didn't need to prove why it was service connected. The VA already said yes to that part. What they really needed was to prove how bad it was right now, how that condition is affecting their daily life, their work, their movement, their sleep, their relationships, all of that. And that's where the DBQ, the Disability Benefits Questionnaire, comes in. That's the form that VA actually uses to determine your rating. It's what tells them Okay, this veteran's condition has gone from moderate to severe, or their range of motion is now half of what it used to be, or their migraines are now prostrating and happening twice a week instead of twice a month. The DBQ is where the VA gets the numbers that decide your percentage. So when I see vets spending all their time and money chasing a Nexus letter for a claim that's already service connected, it's like watching someone hammer nails into the wrong wall. You're working hard, I get it, but you're building in the wrong direction. So here's the deal. If you're chasing an increase, the magic word is not Nexus, it's DBQ, Disability Benefits Questionnaire. It's literally the form the VA that tells the VA, hey, this is how bad it is right now. Not why you got it, but how severe it is today. Think of it like a scorecard for your condition. It forces the provider to measure stuff the VA actually rates on, not vibes, not opinions, but actual measurements and functional impact. These are things like range of motions. Yep, they're going to bring out the gonioniometer, which is that little angly thing. They check out your pain with motion and where it starts, the first degrees versus the end of range of motion, your flare-ups, how often are they happening, how long are they, how bad are they, you have any muscle spasms or guarding, whether it messes up your gait or your posture. It checks for radiculopathy or those nerve shooting pains, the symptoms assisted. Do you have any assistive devices that you need, like braces, canes? Do you have any falls? Are you having any incapacitating episodes, for disc issues, strength, sensation, reflexes off? And the big one, functional impact on work and daily life. Now, here's a quick example. Lumbar spine, which is your lower back, because half of us have left the service with that souvenir down there, right? There's a 10% rating if you have limited motion with painful motion, but you're still moving around, okay? Then it's 20% if you have, roughly where, forward flexion or bending forward is limited to about 60 degrees or less. You're feeling tight, maybe some grinding, and then you stop. And then there's a 40% rating where we're talking 30 degrees or less, or your spine is basically stuck, which is the medical term we use is ankylosis. So translation, trying your boots on feels like a CrossFit event. Those numbers come from the VA spine rating schedule. Now, I'm simplifying it a bit so we don't need a whiteboard in the background. But here's the real point here, right? The DBQ captures all of that in black and white. If you don't document it, the VA can't rate it. If you do document it accurately, thoroughly, they have what they need to rate you higher. Here's a little reality check. Hoping a random CMP examiner on a Tuesday at 8:15 in the morning reads your mind and catches every limitation? I mean, that's a plan. It just may not be a good one. So I want to have you go do this right now. If you're seeking an increase, stop tossing money at Nexus letters. Get a thorough, accurate DBQ that reflects your real limitations, including flare-ups on not just your bad days, but just on every day, and how you felt for the last 5 minutes in the exam room. So what we do and what I do at Xterra Health is we do that full medical review. We talk you through your history, measure your needs, and figure out what's measured. And this is important. We show you your DBQ before you ever decide to move forward. It's a veteran collaborative environment, zero surprises. So the link is below for a free consult. So grab a spot and let's make sure the VA sees what you're actually living with. All right, let's also be honest here. When it comes to VA claims, hope is great, but it's not a strategy. You've really got two options, and I'm going to make it really simple. Option one, you can wait for your next CMP exam and hope the examiner catches everything that's going on with you. Maybe they're having a good day, maybe they're not. Maybe they spend 10 minutes on your exam, or maybe they spend 3. Have you ever had one of those CMP exams where you walk in and the examiner barely looks up from the computer? I mean, I have, and you're like, hey, doc, my knee's killing me. And they're just like, can you bend over real quick? Clickety-clack, okay, thanks, we're done. Yeah, that's not exactly a comprehensive evaluation of your disability. So that's option one. Cross your fingers, roll the dice, and hope the VA examiner sees what you live with every day, every single day. Or this is option two. You can come to us at Xterra Health, and here's the difference. We won't rush it. We don't rush it. We sit you down, and we sit down with you. We go through your entire medical history, your imaging, your treatment notes, your symptoms, your daily limitations, everything. Then one of our licensed medical writers completes a DBQ that actually reflects your reality, not just some checkbox exercise. Before it's ever submitted, again, we show it to you. You can review it line by line because we believe in a veteran collaborative experience. And let's be honest, no one knows your case better than you. That's how it should be. Transparent, honest, veteran first. So if you're tired of gambling your claim on a stranger's 10-minute exam or less, and you want a DBQ that actually tells your story, Go ahead and hit that link in the comments below. Schedule your free consult today, because at Xterra Health, we don't play guessing games with your benefits. We make sure the VA sees the full picture. All right, this is the last one, and it's huge, and I can't stress it enough. You need to keep your medical trail alive. If you're trying to justify an increase, the VA is not going to take your word for it. They're going to look for proof that your condition has gotten worse since your last exam. And I get it, I really do. You finally get your rating, and you're thinking, sweet, I'm done. I'm at the finish line. I never set a foot in another clinic again. I'm done. That's a trap. Don't do that. That's how you get stuck, because the VA can't rate what doesn't exist on paper. So yeah, keep going to your follow-ups. Get repeat imaging. Keep your labs updated. If your back's worse, document it. If your knee's buckling more, document it. If your diabetes causes new issues like vision changes, neuropathy, or fatigue, get it documented. Think of it like leaving breadcrumbs for the VA rater to follow. If you stop leaving the crumbs, they stop following the trail, and your story, well, it just ends halfway through the woods. You want them to see the progression, the decline, the worsening symptoms over time. And here's the truth. The VA loves evidence. They don't care about emotion or how bad it feels. They care literally about what's just documented. And listen, I know it's exhausting. You've got a life, you've got work, family, monetary things you got to do. And the last thing you want to do is schedule another appointment just to say, yep, it still hurts. But every single one of those visits builds your case. It paints a picture the VA just can't ignore. So don't let that medical paper trail go cold. Keep it alive, keep it updated. And when the time comes to file for an increase, you're going to have a mountain of evidence that proves exactly why and what you've been saying all along. Because at the end of the day, the VA just can't rate what's not written. But if it's in black and white, they have to look at it. And that's how you win. Now, if you're still sitting there and thinking, okay, Doc, I get it, but I don't even know if I should file for an increase right now. That's totally fair. Sometimes it's not about knowing what to do next. It's about knowing whether it's the right time to do it. And that's where our partners over at Kavlin Custom Solutions come in. Listen, there are a lot of shady outfits in this space. I've seen them, you've seen them, companies that talk a big game, but are really just waiting to drain your bank account. Kavlin is not one of them. They're the most transparent, veteran, honest consulting team I've ever worked with. They're not going to sugarcoat things or sell you something you don't need. They're going to shoot it to you straight, tell you what makes sense, what doesn't, and what your next steps should be. Their contact info is pinned below, and seriously, reach out to them if you're on the fence. Now, if you're past that stage and you already know, yeah, my condition's worse, I just need to get it documented the right way. And that's where I and Xterra Health come in. We specialize in that. We specialize in DBQs that are accurate, detailed, and built with veterans in mind. You'll see the form beforehand before we ever even finalize it. You'll be part of the process every step of the way, because your story deserves to be told with you, not just for you. So if you're ready to take that next step, hit the link below to schedule your free consult today. We'll review your case, your records, and your goals, and make sure the evidence is in your file exactly how it should be, and it actually matches the reality of your life. Because the truth is, we don't drain veterans, we defend them. So let's bring it home. Remember, a Nexus Letter proves you got service connected. A DBQ proves how bad it really is right now. They're two totally different tools, two totally different purposes. So if you're already service connected, stop wasting money on Nexus Letters that don't move the needle at all, and start focusing on the evidence that actually changes your ratings. Because at the end of the day, it's not about who yells the loudest, it's about who's got the best documentation. Now, before you go, I want you to think about something. A lot of veterans hit that 100% mark and think, all right, I'm good, I'm untouchable, I've reached the finish line. But the reality is, are you? Can the VA actually reduce 100% disability rating once it's granted? The answer might surprise you. And for some vets, it's kind of a wake-up call they didn't see coming. That's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in my next video. How and when the VA can reduce 100% rating, and what you can do to protect yourself. So hit the subscribe button, share this with your battle buddies, and turn on notifications, because the next episode is one you don't want to miss. And as always, until next time, stay mission ready.